Hello, everyone. It is day 3 of our 5-day writing challenge, and we are counteracting that mid-January slump by giving you quick tips every day to prime your writing pump. And today we're talking about the secret that I mentioned yesterday. So I hope you are very curious as to what that is. I'm never going to be the writing coach or editor that tells you you have to plot. I really don't believe that that's true. Everyone writes differently because of how they're wired. But I will encourage you to experiment and see what you can add to your writing toolbox. You might find something new and you'll never know unless you try. So I'm a big fan of experimenting. If you hear about a technique or something, just try it, see what happens. Can't hurt. But one of those techniques, and this is the secret one that I recommend a lot of writers try, is pre-writing. And this is a great way to get some thoughts down before you begin writing, because for a lot of people, that blank page or that blank screen with the blinking cursor is just really, really intimidating. And it doesn't matter if you're a discovery writer or a pantser or a plotter, where you are on that whole continuum. Thinking about your scene before you write it and asking some key questions and kind of jotting down some notes before you start writing can actually give you a bit of a runway so that when you get into that scene, you are off to the races. Now, you may not even stick with that. I think what happens a lot of times is you have an idea of what's going to happen, and then you start writing, and as usual, the characters kind of take on a life of their own and things go off in another direction. And that's fantastic. You absolutely don't have to stick to your pre-writing plan. It's just to kind of prime the pump and get you going. So here are some things to think about before you start writing. You can jot down some little notes for yourself. This is also really great if you're trying dictation, because having some notes about what you think is going to happen is great before you go off on your walk, or if you're dictating while you're driving or just walking around your house, whatever. This can really help your dictation go smoother as well. So first of all, who is going to be in this scene? And we're just talking about one scene. We're not talking about a chapter. We're not talking about the whole book. We're talking about just this scene. Who do you think will be in it? What characters are you going to have in it? And what are they doing? What are they trying to accomplish? Like, what is the purpose of the scene? What is the goal of it? Are they trying to accomplish something? Are they arguing about something? What's going on there? And then why? What are the motivations of the different people? This is great because you're the author. And so you can kind of get into each of their heads and go, well, this person wants this thing and here's why they want it. But this person wants something else and they have different motivations for that. And you can know all of that ahead of time. You can make some notes about what that might be. And even if you don't know, that's okay. You can figure it out sometimes as you go along. But you're putting that question out there so your subconscious and your creative brain can start working on it. And then when and where is this scene happening? So what's the setting? And one of the things I really love about asking these different questions before you write the scene is you can play around with this. Well, where should we put this scene? When should it start? Should it be right after the last scene? Should there be a break? You can play around with some different ideas without committing to writing a whole scene. You can just play around with it. Well, what if I try it here? Okay, that's an option. But then over here, this is another option. Play around with it a little bit before you're actually committed. We tend to be very precious about our words once we've written them. And I like to say writers can often be like quick drying cement. Once you've put it down, it really hardens. It's very hard to think of it in any other way. And when you do some pre-writing, you can play around with different options without having to be fully committed to that. And that gives you a little more creative license to really figure out what is going to work best for your story. And then I think it's always really great to think about, how does this scene connect with what has come before and where you're going with this story? Things need to have sort of this domino effect where one event affects the other. They shouldn't feel episodic where they're very separate. They should feel very, very connected. And so thinking about that can help you make sure that you have that domino effect when you're thinking about the scenes from before and the scenes that are coming afterwards. So just beginning to ask some of those questions, it can really prime the pump. So you're not working from a blank page. You don't even have to answer all of them. You can play around with some of this. And then when you write, you're going to have a good sense of what you're going to write. You kind of have a roadmap, and it still leaves lots of room for creative fun, which we want. And I think it's a great way to help make some progress on your writing and not be intimidated by that blank page. So comment below if you've tried pre-writing or you're looking forward to trying pre-writing, and let me know how it goes. All right. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.